Hey guys, Adam Bailey here, and today we're at Bailey Fitness in Morley. And in today's video I want to answer a common question that I get asked a lot, and a question that's just recently come through our direct message in our 8-week challenge group that we've got running at the moment at Bailey Fitness. Should I do fasted cardio, and will it elicit more fat loss? So will you lose more weight, more fat, if you do your cardio on an empty stomach? So first of all, what is fasted cardio? Generally speaking, it's done early in the morning, but it's any form of cardio, whatever you like to do, running, swimming, dancing, boxing, whatever gets you motivated. But if you're doing that cardio without eating first, we call that fasted cardio. Now, the videos that I put out tend to be directed to those people who are new to their health and fitness journey, or they're just kind of getting started with things. So where possible, I try and avoid anything that's too sciencey and studies and things of that nature. But I think this topic, we've really got to touch on it, hopefully without getting too bogged down in it all and you falling asleep while you're watching it. But if you are into the science stuff, there's a guy, a fitness YouTuber called Nippard, who breaks down these fitness studies that have taken place over the last few decades, and it's just a really good watch if you're into it. I'll put the link to that in the description below, and if you do want to get super sciencey, check him out. He's awesome. So, does fasted cardio burn more fat than doing cardio with food in your system? Alright, so as you're probably well aware, food equals energy, and that energy sits in our muscles until we use it or not. One of the first studies on this topic happened in the late 70s, so it's a long while ago now, but what they did effectively was they've had two groups of participants, and they split the group into two. One group performed a cardio routine over a bunch of months, fasted, so doing it on an empty stomach, and the other group did it after they'd eaten. And the results from this study showed that during the session, those people who didn't eat prior burnt more fat during the session than those who had eaten. So those that ate, as I said, the energy sort of sits in the muscle there. These people were found to burn more from that fuel source than fat. So this is where this whole thing was born, and this is where the holy grail of cardio and fat loss came to be from this study. But fast forward a decade later, and they kind of found it wasn't exactly true. But this time, rather than just looking at the fat burn during the session, they looked at the whole day. And what they found with the group of people that were fasted, though they burnt more fat during the session, over the course of the day, it was exactly the same as those people who had done non-fasted cardio. So it turned out that it was much of a muchness. At the end of the day, you do the exercise, you're going to burn the fat, as long as you're in a calorie deficit. So then what are my thoughts on the whole thing? Well, my personal goals and the goals of the majority of my clients is to improve body composition. So what does that mean? Increase muscle or tone up and reduce fat. So the only way we're going to burn fat is if we're in a calorie deficit. We've discussed this at length in previous videos. But the other major goal is to build muscle or to maintain muscle while we're in a calorie deficit, is we need to be ingesting a hell of a lot of protein. But my method of training people is, if we can increase muscle, they will burn more calories at rest than somebody who has less muscle. So think of it like two cars idling at the traffic lights. So we've got a V8 engine that's chugging away next to a little 4-cylinder motor. It's the V8 that's going to burn more fuel at rest and throughout the day. So if protein is the goal, we know that there's no difference between fasted cardio or not. There's no science to support that, but we know we have to eat a ton of protein to grow muscle and maintain. Is by skipping a meal or eating later, I might not be able to fit all my protein in for the day. But let me put that in perspective for you. So to grow muscle, to maintain, apart from having a super solid regime in the weights room, it's about protein intake. For the average person, rule of thumb, I tell my clients, and maybe a little bit more, a little bit less depending on somebody's body composition, but generally speaking, we should be ingesting 2 grams of protein per kilo of our body weight. Okay, so if you're 75 kilos, we should be ingesting a minimum of 150 grams of protein a day. If you're a bit bigger, it's more. So to get that kind of protein in across the course of the day can be difficult. So if I'm fasting, or not having my first meal until sort of 10:30, 11 o'clock because I fit in my cardio beforehand, and I've got to shovel all this protein in throughout the day, it may be not viable. So where possible, if increasing muscle mass or toning is your goal, and it should be if you're wanting to get a better body composition, then you need to hit your protein goal. You need to be in a calorie deficit, and if you're waiting till lunchtime for your first meal, the chance of you getting all of the protein required to grow between lunchtime and dinner time is going to be drastically reduced. And it's for those reasons that I would opt against fasted cardio. On that, guys, any questions, drop them below and I'll try and answer each comment as they come.